Here's a little bit of update on that fork that we had a little bit of a problem with. I started to build up this r380 yesterday just to get it out of the way, and then I realised there was something rather odd here. I put the yoke on, you know, to select a shaft, and I thought, oh, it's jumped into gear, it's too low. And then the penny dropped. This fork's out of a Defender, this is the old one, I just put the whole assembly in. This one is out of Discovery. How it ended up in my parts bin, I do not know. So what is the difference? Well, check this out. It's an easy mistake to make because they look almost the same. Here is where your detent ball goes. Now if it's in neutral, the ball will go here. So let's place this against here, and you can see quite clearly that the Defender shaft is longer than the Discovery one. Now I knew that already, whoops, but I didn't realise that I just picked it up inadvertently and threw it in the box, you know, many years ago. So what I've got to do today is strip it all down again, clean up all the old sealer. Fortunately I don't have to re-shim it because it's really good, but take the pin out of here, which is kind of easy to do. Like support it on a socket, put it on your press or a hammer, and just a very small punching and punch them out. But you'll have to reset the height of the pin because this pin has to go into a slot here. If you put it in and it's too tall, it won't go through there. But let me do that, then we'll do another video because I want to show you how that linkage works because it's really clever. And then you'll start to understand how wrong these can go just by the simplest of things. So here we are. I want you to pay attention. It's very difficult for me to film, but on this pin here, because when we move it like this is your gearbox in neutral, right? Now of course all this is loose, so I can't really give you a very good description, but I'll tell you how it works. So that pin is very important. That pin that will pull this fork down here and pull this into first gear. Likewise, when it goes up, I've just pushed it to one side, it's not actually pushing the gear, but if I push it up, it will push it into second gear. Now if there's any slack or anything in this part here, this isn't going to go fully into gear. Now pay attention to these teeth here. I'm going to go around the other side and try and put it into gear without it all exploding. I don't know. Just keep your eye on it. Let me turn the screen around so I don't make a monkey of myself as usual. Right, so what we're going to do first of all, we're going to pull it into first gear like that. See? Do you see how it went in? Now again, there's no detent balls in here or no springs, and this is why I'm having to hold this so this one doesn't fly off. Alright, so that's first. And now what we're going to try and do is put that into second gear. See? See? I mean, this is all moving around, but you get the idea, eh? Because I don't want this to move, this thing, because it'll bugger up. But did you see how it goes in like that? Did you see that? Let's do it again. I'm just waiting for it all to blow up. So there you go. Let's push it in. Let's push this down. There. See how it went in? It's reaching right to the back of the gear. Now if there was clearance here, it ain't going to go far, and could that be the reason why it clicks when it goes into gear? Oops, let's get that wrong, don't I? Could that be the reason why when it clicks into gear the teeth are actually pulling in together? Now I'll put a little drawing up here and perhaps you can understand, because the teeth, I'll put it back down again, the teeth on this inner ring, are fixed, but the teeth on the gear here are on a slight taper, so it pulls in. so it doesn't jump out of gear, because if these were parallel it would just keep bouncing out of gear. It needs something to lock into, so whilst that's turning like this, it's grabbing into those little teeth inside, and perhaps you can see by the picture how it makes sense. And this is why they're saying if the teeth are rounded, then it's not going to work very well, it's going to pop out of gear. So you can see the distinct difference between the two. I've put this right at the very edge, this on the edge, and you can see the difference in the heights. Don't worry about these are in a different position. So what I've got to do is take that pin out, and that pin, take that pin and put it onto there. But you'll also perhaps notice, if I zoom in a bit, that the hole is in a different angle. See, this one goes this way, this one goes that way. Problem. Anyway, it's easy solved, it's not a big deal, it doesn't cost anything, that's the main thing. But it's one of those things to watch out for when you're building things out of parts. A couple of little notes while I'm at it. These are about 50 quid, this brass bit, so they are worth salvaging and welding back up again. Ashcrofts do a little conversion kit which comprises of this piece and the bushing that goes onto there. Now I could get JP to make that bushing, however it's not really worth it, it's easy for me to take them to bits. But that little kit is £75. You know, that's kind of expensive. So we'll use that and then we'll throw that shaft in the bin.